WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando.
You've just tuned into Women, Wisdom, and the Word with your hosts,
Pastor Tehila,
Minister Tamara Murray,
Minister David Williams,
Minister Bridget Norvell.
and remember, you can never overdose on wisdom.
Good afternoon. Yes, we're back. Welcome to Women, Wisdom, and the Word. We are back for another hour, and we have all the people at the round table just getting ready. We're just ready to get into our conversation. Good afternoon, Central Florida. I pray that you had a wonderful week and weekend, and today's show, we're going to talk about removing the mask.
Yes.
We left off last week, explaining to you that this is a dynamic event that Pastor Tehila puts on once a month for the ladies. And before we start, we want to just have everyone introduce themselves. And who's here today?
Pastor Tehila. I'm here today, and hello, Florida, Central Florida.
Good afternoon, Florida. Tamara here today. Happy to be here.
And good afternoon. This is David. Excited about another Wednesday.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Good afternoon. This is Yvonne Hammond, brother Yvonne Hammond. How are we doing today?
Great.
Yes.
And he's our guest. We also have a special guest stopping by later on in the show.
Excited.
A very special guest. I know a lot of you in Central Florida know her. And out of Central Florida, she's a well-known songwriter. She's a well-known psalmist. And I'm excited on what she's coming in to do and talk about. But we're going to turn it over to Pastor Tehila. This is going to be an exciting show. Let me give you the telephone number first, 407-894-1680. That's 407-894-1680. Pastor Tehila, God had given you we'll say a vision.
Yes.
For women.
Uh-huh.
And you call it removing the mask. Now, do we have a mask on, Pastor?
Yes, we certainly do.
We do?
Oh, yeah.
I thought it was makeup.
We have the fashion femme.
Oh, yes, that is a mask.
Yes.
We have the Mary Kay mask.
Really?
Yes, and then what else do we have?
The casket fresh mask.
Well, David doesn't. Do you know anything about that, David?
No, I don't know anything about them.
Oatmeal mask. I think.
The cucumber mask.
Oh, Jesus. Well, it is a ministry, really, which is a passion of mine, because of some of the things that I went through in life. And I was fortunate enough through some of the most traumatic events in my life that I had certain women that stood by me, and they were there with me. They mentored me. They saw me through. They prayed me out. They birthed me out. And they helped me to go through deliverance and so forth. So this is basically what then came out of my experiences in life, the removing of the mask, being just open before the Lord. It's a ministry that speaks of restoration. It's a ministry that is speaking of healing and deliverance. It's a ministry that looks at a woman holistically, not just every woman from every background, culture, and it's been an awesome time. It's been a great time. We started off, I believe, at the end of last year, right?
Yes.
Minister Tamara, yes. And at the end of last year, I believe around September, I think. And it's been just an awesome time. We started off with such topics as a wounded spirit. What causes a wounded spirit? What is a wounded spirit? What are the symptoms of a wounded spirit? And we just progressed. And right now we are on forgiveness.
Okay.
And I don't do it alone. I have a great team for removing of the mask.
Yes.
We have Sister Karen Sims. She is an awfully powerful. Oh my goodness me! I've sounded really English. I'll use that word, awfully powerful. Oh gee, man. what I wanted to say was that she's very powerful and very anointed, and God is
It
really...
doesn't work, Pastor. Don't try the English accent, okay?
Yeah. I know.
Just
I know. I just
stay in your lane.
Yes. Well, let me tell you what happened to us this morning. I was trying to get some to go on the GPS.
Yes.
And I was telling this GPS the address where we were going.
You spoke to the GPS.
I did.
That was interesting.
Yes.
Okay.
So
did the GPS understand?
This is it now. So I had to give it to Mr. Tamara to speak to it in an American accent.
Okay. The GPS inventors, please. English. We're going to call them in, and we're going to let Pastor Tahila speak to the GPS so you can understand the language. So this time, I'm so glad you weren't by yourself, Pastor.
We were on our way to Iowa. Okay.
Okay, now that's funny.
But she didn't do any better either, because it didn't understand her. So it kind of comforted me right there. Okay. But anyway, getting back to our subject, removing the mask, going beyond the veil. Listen, we now have our website up, and if you go on our website, this is what you'll find. Removing the Mask is a ministry geared towards every woman at every stage in their life, or in her life, professionally, married, divorced, widowed, single mothers, daughters, and just women from all walks of life. So this ministry really is here to empower every woman from every culture and background. We're not just talking about those who are churched.
Yes.
We're talking about even those who are just, coming outside the walls of the church.
Now, you said that was on your website, and I'm going to give the website. That's Forward in Faith Ministry Orlando. So we're going to abbreviate that. That's FIFMORL.com for more information about removing the mask. Again, that's FIFM as in Mary, Orlando, ORL.com. And I think we have a caller on the line. We're having people call in, and before we go to the caller, I have to say this is how I met Pastor Tahila.
Yes,
at removing the mask.
Oh wow! Yes,
that was my first, and it was awesome. I mean, we have a lot of Kleenex and
but it's a lot of fun because there's food there afterwards, and
after the Kleenex, there's the food.
Yes, and Minister Tamara is very good. We have all these gifts, and
the gifts.
I did behave myself.
You behave yourself this time?
I did.
Okay.
I waited in line.
With the gifts.
Of course, no, Pastor had the first.
The first gift. Okay, let me explain to you what's going on. When they do the gifts, you have to answer biblical.
The trivia.
Is a trivia question. You never have a pastor that has been in the woods for 3 years just with God and the Bible.
The back jungles of Africa.
The back jungles of Africa to answer questions.
Oh, come on.
And trust me, she knows every answer.
She knows it.
Yes.
No.
So
I believe she
you
already
going in
made
the other
it
room.
to general.
Yes.
Wow.
No, come on. Well, this is Annette.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me just explain a little bit about Annette. Annette is our coordinator. She organizes us and gets in touch with all the other women. Make sure she picks up all the addresses, emails, and she emails us everyone. But she is just a fantastic woman of God. I am just so privileged to have her around me, and she is just a great help, particularly in this ministry. Annette, go ahead.
Minister Annette, are you on the line?
Hello, all my brothers and sisters.
How
are you today?
How are you, sister?
Oh,
good afternoon.
Hey.
God. I just wanted to comment as you were discussing removing the mask. I really think it's been a ministry that's been dynamic for women. We've seen a lot of healing, deliverance, restoration. We've been dealing with women from all walks of life, coming from all types of background. And, you see professional women, you see myself, we go to work, but we still deal with a lot of issues that we can't tell, our friends. We don't discuss it with our co-workers or even in our church ministry, women that's been in ministry for years that are still dealing with issues that they have not been delivered from, which hinders them from doing the purpose of God. So I think removing the mask really, when God birthed that into Pastors to Heal the Spirit, it is so beautiful, and I've just seen so many results from it, so much restoration, as I said, deliverance. So, and the food is very good.
Yes, the food. Oh, yes, of course. But you know what? This weekend we went healthy.
You were healthy?
Yeah, we did.
Good.
We went the healthy route.
Okay.
I would have said route.
Okay.
But you say route.
Okay.
Yes. So
Potato.
Yes.
I just want to encourage women who are listening to really try to join us in removing the mask. If you need information about it, if you want some information about it, my name is Annette. You can contact me at 724-630-8372 and provide me with your information. I will send you an email or a text on our next upcoming event.
Yes.
Awesome.
Now, let me just add on to that with what Annette was saying. One thing that came out as well, right in the beginning, because when we started, it was to empower us. You know, we want to live healthy lives, you know, not just physically, but healthy spiritual lives. So when we started, we were looking at the deliverance side. We were looking at the healing side. We were looking at restoration side. But one thing that came out of the sessions that we were having is recovery. You see, it's recovery. Okay. We go through the deliverances and we go through all these that are done. Sometimes in churches we seek out ministries where we need help and so forth. But when we meet, we're maintaining it. We are going through the process of recovery.
So you're saying the healing part of it.
The healing part of it, even the deliverance part of it too. There's the process of recovery.
Okay.
You see, when you have been delivered from something, it doesn't mean that every symptom, everything is just going to fly away and you're going to be all right.
Instantaneously.
Yeah.
So you're saying there's steps.
There's steps.
It's a process.
Right. That's right.
Yes.
It's a process. And we have found ourselves to be in recovery. You know, we found other women in recovery. Like particularly now, it is a really exciting subject. We're talking about forgiveness. Right?
We did resentment this week.
Well, which
is a little deeper than it is actually the root of unforgiveness.
That's right. We discovered that for unforgiveness, it's like a tree, right? But this tree has roots to it.
Okay.
Such as a resentment, you know. So it's one of those things that you need to starve. If you're going to live in forgiveness, if you're going to forgive someone, a particular situation, a particular person, you have to starve resentment, right? So this is one of the things that we were dealing. It was really good.
Yes.
We have a skit. We had someone come in and they were dancing, you know, with the dance, and it just...
I had one young lady called me. She was a guest for the Remove of the Mask, and unfortunately I wasn't there. I was playing grandma.
Okay. No, that was good too.
Yes, I love playing grandma. I get to go home. I love my grandkids. And we might need to bring her to Removing the Mask. She punched a little boy in the face. The little boy hit her. And I heard the little boy, she screamed.
Yes.
Now, these are 5-year-olds.
Well, I guess the little boy won't hit her again.
He had a black eye.
Oh, Lord.
I heard the little boy scream. And I'm like, what? It was 10 kids. And my daughter has a big house. And we're upstairs, and the little kids are downstairs. Parents, don't leave your kids downstairs by themselves.
Okay.
And I hear, and I'm like, what is going on? So we run downstairs, and I see the little boy on the floor, and she's already upstairs crying, and he has a black eye. I'm like, oh, no.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Yes,
Bridget.
Amen to that.
I wonder where that came from.
Yeah. Deliverance.
Yes.
So we need to bring her to Removing the Mask.
We need to bring her and the grandma.
And the grandma.
Because we're going to give her one of those balloons so she can write down all her
Oh, yeah. One of the things that we did this weekend.
Yes, that's what she said. The lady that was there, the balloons. Go ahead about the balloons.
Yes. We wanted to release some of these things. We want to release resentment. We want to release the people, the occasions, the things that were done to us. So another way, you know what? I've always seen these things being done on the movies, and I didn't think that it had any effect on us at all. But when I did it and I took part in this exercise, something really did happen to me.
It released. That's what she said.
I really felt something. We were all given balloons. We chose different colors, obviously, and we were given all balloons, and we were given a marker, and we wrote on these balloons the people that were resented, the people that we wanted to forgive, the offenses that were done to us. So we wrote on the balloons all these things. Wow.
Some of the balloons were black from the marker. You couldn't see the balloon anymore.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And you know who that was, don't you? We had to literally prise it off her balloon. It's okay now.
Our special guest caller always call in. That one, she showed up for the removing the mask.
Oh my gosh, she's the faithful one.
The executive
lady.
The executive woman,
The woman that
is
showed
extraordinary. Precious is just the most extraordinary woman I've ever had the privilege to meet. So we released, after we'd said all these things, after we'd written all these things, we went outside and we released the balloons, and there was just something that there was a lifting, something that took place. I always thought
a transformation.
Yes. I thought it was just mumbo jumbo that psychologists dreamt up, and but it works.
I want to hear from the men right now. Now, we are hearing women getting freed up from all this activity and events. Do you think men need a removing the mask, and should we open it to men, Pastor? What do you feel?
Yeah, I let me hear what the men would say, because I think I've got mixed feelings on that.
Well, as far as removing the mask, I would look at it, giving it some other type name.
like men hide behind their cars, they have race cars.
What I want to say is that, that we definitely need to have something for men, because there is a lot of men that have a lot of issues, and they hide behind the issues that they have, because I can say that because I used to be one of those men that did that, but I'm freed up from all of that. So so it's very important that that we do that.
Well, it's the healing of the wounds, and healing the wounds. They're deep wounds that we have. We hide them, like she said, behind different things, whether it be cars, an excess of anything, trying to whether it be material,
of anything,
anything like material. Well, more, try to hide behind many women, or something of those nature. To go with that balloon situation, I had a situation where I wanted to learn how to forgive people. And a friend of mine told me to write a letter to each person and then take it out to the backyard and burn it and release it to the atmosphere. I thought it was foolish until I did it. And if something happened, I don't know, I can't even explain.
Yeah.
Just the process
it's
of
like
doing
Remember,
it.
we talked about that last week.
Yes.
Something happens when you release things, I can't explain it. I don't know what it is. Just the process of going through it. Because when you write the letter and you start digging up, you're pulling up those roots, and then you're pulling them up, and then you're putting it on paper. Now, you don't have to give it to the person. Some people choose to. I choose, but I was told burn it.
Yes. Don't send it. Yes.
You might open up a can of worms.
Don't send it.
Don't send it.
But
don't
Pastor,
send the letter.
Forgiveness is, a lot of people think forgiveness is for the other person. No, forgiveness is for me. I break the chain from you and I.
Well, this is one of the things that we have learned, that forgiveness is like acid. It's the container, you see. But men, they don't discuss their issues, particularly in a group, so easily, So I'm just wondering.
It depends on the form that you put us in. If there's a form, we discuss it. We just discuss it in different areas, whether it be at the basketball court or
at
different place.
So we have to have removing the mask at a basketball court?
No. it's a forum.
But you know what? I hear what he's saying.
Yeah, I understand.
I hear what he's saying.
Setting, just like the removing of the mask.
They'll have their basketball, game, and then afterwards,
if
while they're eating, sitting down,
yes,
then they can discuss it. They've broken the ice a little bit, and they're still feeling
in the man cave. It has to be like
the other part of it is that the reason why a lot of men don't discuss the issues because it's one of two things: is either shame or pride. They hide behind one or the other. Most men will be apt to talking to one man. They having a one-on-one conversation versus having 20, 30 men sitting in a room. A lot of men are not going to come out with their personal issues
with a lot of people around them.
With a lot of people, and until it's going to take somebody to break the ice for them to be able to do that. And the reason why I can say that because I actually headed a group where we used to talk to men about their marital issues and personal things going on in their life. And we started out with 3 men, and in a couple of months we were up to like 35 men.
Really?
Yes, I actually did that while I was in the military.
Okay.
On deployment.
Right, because I'm looking at you, ex-military man who just retired. He is coming from where? Afghanistan and places like that. And I'm thinking, how are we going to get him to open up, and begin to talk about these things, and begin to bring up all these issues? Because what I also found out this weekend, early in the morning, one of our ladies, which is Karen, who comes in as well in removing that mask. She's part of the team. She called me up early in the morning and just touching on a few things before we meet. We start off at 11 o'clock in the morning to give every woman an opportunity to then have the rest of the day to themselves, because we aim to finish at 1 o'clock. So she calls me and she begins to we touched on the subject, which was resentment. And the first thing that came to me as I sat there in my room was, well, I don't resent anyone. I'm fine. I don't resent anyone. I have forgiven everybody. That's the initial reaction that I was thinking.
Yes.
I was thinking, well, it is for them, not for me. I have been through all this and I've resolved it. I've been through bereavement. I've been through, being a single woman. I've been through all the stages that there can be for a woman. So I'm fine, until the Holy Spirit said, no, you're not okay. So I said, well, what is it? I'm okay. I have, my husband is there. He loves me, and I'm in ministry and I'm content. So what could it be? And a can of worms was opened up by the Holy Spirit. I had to sit back. It hit me so bad. It was like a knife in my heart, Wow. So I then began to re-examine myself, and I thought, really, yes, I really do need help.
Yes.
So,
yes. Well, I want to stay right there because we're going into 12:30, but we have a few announcements before we go to a couple minutes station break. We have June 16th, the First Lady Night Out. I want you to write this down. June 16th, First Ladies Night Out at Capitol Grill, 7 p.m. For more information, log on to getThe411.biz. That's getThe411.biz or 407-434-1141. August 23rd through the 26th, Preparing to Be a Wife. That's preparing to be a wife.eventbrite.com. Registration is going really well, and we're going to have 7 bedrooms this time, so please sign up. I've had people all over coming from all over to be a part of this event. From the kitchen to the bedroom, preparing to be a wife.eventbrite.com. Then you have July 6th. That's every first Saturday of the month. Removing the mask.
That's right.
With Forward in Faith Ministry, Pastor Tahila, removing the mask. For more information, you can log on to FIFM as in Mary, ORL.com, or contact Minister Annette at 724-630-8372. Pastor, do you have some announcements before we go to a break?
No.
No, that's it?
No.
Okay, so we'll be right back. We're going to have a special guest coming in, and then we're going to keep on engaging in this conversation about removing the mask. We'll be right back.
Gospel 1680 WOKB.
You know that the ice cream scoop has the power to make a child smile, and that by slowing us down, the traffic light can keep us going. You know that the golf tee brings friends together, that the mailbox keeps them connected. You know that the cataract laser helps you look to the future, while the pacemaker ensures that there's a future to be seen. You know that the lawnmower, the clothes dryer, and the elevator make life easier, that the blood bank makes life possible. You know that these things we count on every day started as ideas. But did you know all these ideas came from the minds of African Americans? Support minority education today so we don't miss out on the next big idea tomorrow. The United Negro College Fund. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Please visit uncf.org or call 1-800-332-UNCF. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Just a minute, Jen. I need to talk to you.
Mom, I don't have time now. I gotta go.
Jen, wait, Jen!
Staying connected with your kids is tough. As a parent, you need to do whatever it takes, and the Boys Town National Hotline can help.
Come on, Jen, let's go. Let's go. I can't believe it. My mom just texted me. She knows how to text? Huh. Better see what she wants.
From parenting questions to a family crisis, let the Boys Town National Hotline help you connect with your kids. Call 1-800-448-3000 or visit parenting.org today.
Hi, this is Morgan Freeman. Has anyone ever said, you're the picture of health? You look healthy, you feel fine, but that may not be the full picture. Colorectal cancer is the second leading cancer killer of men and women over 50. Since it doesn't always cause symptoms, you may not know you have it. The only way to know is by getting screened. Screening can find precancerous polyps, so they can be removed before they turn into cancer. This is one cancer you can prevent. Plus, screening can find colorectal cancer at an early stage, when the chance for a full recovery is very high. Talk with your doctor and get tested for colorectal cancer. Medicare and many insurance plans help pay for screening. Get screened. Make sure you are the picture of health.
A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Gospel 1680 WOKB.
Okay, we're back. Hello again. We are back for the second half, and we left off on removing the mask, talking about those deep tissue issues inside, and that we left off on, and we're going to go back into resentment.
Yes.
Pastor, what is resentment?
Resentment is when you have picked up an offense. You know, you have felt that you have been you've been wronged. You know, and it begins to fester in you. It begins to just to boil up in you. Resentment is a root coming out of unforgiveness.
Okay.
Right. If we take a tree, right, and a tree needs the roots. It's fed from the roots, apart from the sunlight that comes to feed the leaves and so forth. But for a tree to be healthy, it gets its nutrients, from the soil. So every tentacle, every root is feeding the tree itself, right? So those roots now become resentment. They become bitterness, okay? They become a wounded spirit, okay? To facilitate this tree of unforgiveness, right? So it starts off with unforgiveness, right? And the roots go deeper and deeper unless they're dealt with. You have to deal with the roots for you to be able to cut down the tree completely, for you to be able to uproot the tree itself. So
it made me think of the parable when Jesus said to the fig tree, he said, you'll not grow anymore. He told the fig tree to curse. He cursed the fig tree.
Yeah.
So these are the things that have grown on our tree.
Yeah, that's right. I believe it's in the book of Luke, Luke chapter 18, I believe, when Jesus was talking about the mulberry tree. Right. I recently learned from that actually in Hebrew, the mulberry tree is called a sycamine tree.
Okay.
And a sycamine tree, it has the deepest roots that go deep into the ground. But when Jesus said, he said, you are able to what? To uproot this mulberry tree.
Okay.
So we are able to uproot anything in our lives, particularly when it comes to unforgiveness.
Man, that's a choice.
You see, it's a conscious decision that you have to make to forgive.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
You have to make that decision, and you're not going to feel anything. You're not going to feel suddenly that, yes, I have forgiven and everything is over and I'm okay. No. It's a work in progress. That's why now we talk about recovery, right? You're forgiven, you've made that decision. When you feel that bitter root, when you feel that resentment coming up, starve it. You need to starve it. You need to, you just need to say no.
Okay. I think I found it. It was Luke 17:6.
Yes.
Yes, Luke 17:6. Now, if you hear some pages turning, you have all the biblical scholars up in here that have all their Bibles, and you have the pages turning. And so if you hear pages turning, look, this room is saturated, okay? You have Bibles all over the place. I have the Bible on the
big and small,
on big, small laptops. It has cell phones. Bibles are coming out. So if you hear the pages turning, that's what you hear.
Okay.
And we spoke about something else too, Pastor, that if you have a tree that you cut down and you leave that stump, and the roots are still there, that thing will start to sprout.
Yes.
And it'll grow back.
Yes.
So that's why it's so important for us to get rid of the resentment. And as Pastor was saying, I can relate to myself. Someone offends you. The first thing I feel, I resent what you said. So now resentment is the seed that is planted for that unforgiveness.
Offense.
Yes.
But there's a lot of times people will try to ignore it too.
This is the
right.
Oh my!
We regress it.
It's like the deep pressing.
It's regress.
Yeah,
and
that's it.
Some people call it depression when you deep press issues in you. But once you press it in and you ignore it, that's also a form of resentment. And this is something you won't even know about.
And, I have had people that have offended me, and they turn around and say, "Oh, I'm really sorry, I didn't mean." And I'll say, "Oh, no, it's fine, it's okay. No, don't worry about it. Oh, no, it's fine."
And you don't mean that.
And I really didn't mean it. I really was hurt by that comment.
So would you say that was pride that said that's okay? Would you say that for kick?
Well, maybe it could be. I don't know if I could say it's pride, but it's just something that. You know what it is? I think it's got a lot to do also with background, not wanting to be very confrontational.
Okay.
So we don't acknowledge it.
Yeah. You don't want to be confrontational. You don't want to admit that you've been hurt.
So now it grows.
Right.
Yes.
It
festers.
It festers and
then it grows.
And then there's times where you honestly in your heart you believe, what, I've forgiven. I'm over this. And then you see that person and bam.
Yeah.
It's like that dagger just twisted in your heart. And it's like, oh my gosh, that thing is still there. And you didn't realize that it was still there.
Yes.
Well, the bad part about that too is when you don't address the issue and the same thing keeps happening over and over and over again, it gets deeper and deeper rooted inside you. Now it becomes harder to get rid of those.
I like what he just said.
That's right.
I like that.
When it keeps on happening again and again.
And we take it out on other people.
That's right.
Yes.
Now, go ahead.
And that comes from not confronting too, because see, now this same individual is doing something and they're not even aware because you don't want a
and
confrontation.
Sometimes it's not the same individual, but it's the same kind of thing, but coming in
from a different individual
way.
Okay.
But it's more or less the same thing, But and I love what David said. It keeps on happening again and again. And one thing that we're learning at removing of the mask is how that when it comes back again to you, how do you deal with it? Okay. You see, how do you confront it? How do you make sure, it doesn't hit you again? You sidestep the bullet.
I want to just introduce that we had a special guest walk into the room, and I know she's trying to figure out where are they, what are they talking about, and our special guest, and I have to say, it is Pastor LaRue.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Hello. We were talking about removing the mask.
Yes.
And is that your song, Pastor?
Yeah.
Yes,
it is. Be on it.
I know.
Yes, thank you.
For His glory. For His glory.
Thank you. We were talking about removing the mask.
Yeah.
And we were talking about resentment. So you came in the middle of us, dialoguing about what resentment is and how it caused. So Pastor LaRue came in to speak about something special on her heart, but we're going to finish up in about 2 minutes. I am the one that narrates, help them stay on track. So 2 more minutes.
I like to help them to stay on track.
Well, I mean, if I may, I know a lot of times, just in listening, because I was listening on my way here, but, a lot of times people don't even realize what happens when we're in God's presence.
Yes.
And that, that's kind of my heart is with worship, and that's what I'm going to talk about. But a lot of times when you're in God's presence, what we have to remember is that there are no secrets there.
That's
and so
right.
In that place of His presence, in that there's an opportunity for you to be vulnerable and remove the mask.
Yes.
Because He's the one who created you and informed you, and He knows everything about you. And there are no masks when you're in His presence.
Yes.
If
Great
you're
opportunity.
truly in His presence. Yeah.
Great opportunity for restoration.
Absolutely.
Wholeness.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love this.
We have Patience real quick, Patience, and then Jackie, and around 12:45 we're going to bring in Pastor LaRue about the Worship United Summit. But Patience, is there something that you wanted to talk about or comment about removing the mask?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, hi.
Hi. I'd like to thank Pastor Tahila and Miss Karen for making me able to feel free after doing the session, after removing the mask, after
That's really good feedback right there.
Yes,
it's very good.
She's having a little feedback, but that's okay. I think we're taking care of it now.
Oh no! I meant feedback.
the feedback on
her.
I'll talk about radio feedback.
Oh no! I'm talking about the comment that she's made.
Yes,
because sometimes after you having gone through such a session, you begin to feel condemnation. You begin to look at yourself and think, should I have said that? Maybe I shouldn't have told everybody that. Maybe, you begin to look into yourself and the enemy begins to speak to you. But what I like about this, after we had gone through this, there is just an opportunity to sit back and fellowship and, and just talk. By the time you leave, you're so relaxed, you're mellow, you're in the right place. So thank you so much, Patience, for that. We really appreciate that. Go ahead.
And again, you don't let it's like that tape recorder that you leave, that tape recorder that plays again. Yes. You said this, you said this wrong, you did this wrong.
Yeah.
Why did you let that out?
Yes.
And, we have go ahead.
So, we have to shut that tape recorder down.
Yes. And she does a great job. Miss Jackie had got disconnected, but Pastor does a great job with that by feeding us. And
there's a lot of love in the room. Okay?
Yes, there is.
And it comes out in the cooking.
Yes. So by the time you leave, the tape recorder have shut off.
Yes. And there's great fellowship.
Yes.
There's great fellowship. But you know what? I'm excited to hear what Pastor has to say.
LaRue, yes.
I'm really
now,
excited.
Pastor LaRue, just go on.
Well,
in.
I did. I just kind of jumped in. I came for
that's
one
good.
purpose, but I just love how
it.
God sets stuff up.
Yeah.
There are no accidents when or no coincidence when it comes to God, and just having an opportunity to come and sit in the midst of this talk, about the masks and restoration and things like that. But God has given me an opportunity to birth a vision that He has placed on my heart for about 8 years now. And June 16th, we are having our first Worship Leaders Association all-day summit. And it's Worshipers United, and we're starting with the morning clinic with persons that are wanting to develop and just kind of hone their gifts and talents. And just like, sign me up.
I'll be there.
But I'm partnering, people that are just kind of starting and developing in their gifts and talents with some professional people that I've been in relationship for years that are not just at churches, but also some professional people out at Disney and do some studio stuff and just from different places here in the area that they would probably not have an opportunity to have that connection, that opportunity to sit and talk and say, how do you do this? How do you do that? So we're starting at 10 a.m. with a clinic, and then we'll have a time of fellowship and breaking of the word, of course. But what I'm really excited about also is we're developing a Central Florida worship leading choir.
Wow.
And that rehearsal will be from 1 to 3 p.m. Okay. And I'll tell you exactly where, but from 1 to 3 p.m. we'll have that rehearsal. And then, yes.
I'm going to get now.
Can I be on the choir?
Yes, you may.
Once you're on the choir, your voice drowns out.
So tell me, if you're on the choir, are you going to ask me to sing on my own to see if I'm good enough?
Well, we haven't decided whether or not we're going to do an actual audition yet. But God has graced me. Some people were like, "Are you going to do a choir? Are you okay with choir?" I love choirs.
Yes.
But God has graced me to be able to hide some of our specially gifted voicings.
Like oh Lord,
yes.
I do not.
Yes,
there they go again. I did not.
But that evening, we're gonna culminate the evening with a night of worship at 6:00 p.m.
Wow.
And what's so different about this is we're gonna do this every single month. This is not just a one-time thing, and we don't know if it's going to happen again next year. No, we're going to do this every month.
Yes.
Right now, we'll be meeting at Celebration of Praise out in Claremont, Florida. It's
beautiful
at
church.
3700 South Highway 27 in Claremont, Florida. Celebration of Praise Church. And we'll be there this month and also July the 28th. So as we are moving along, we'll give the locations for the different churches that will host us. And that's what we're looking for, is different churches that would host a Worship Leaders Association, Worshipers United, for an all-day summit once a month.
Well,
and,
Pastor,
God is doing something so powerful in this city, and I'm just glad to be a part.
And I'm definitely going to get in touch because I would like to
I'm volunteering.
Oh, yeah. She doesn't have to volunteer me.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to at all. I just hope that the place that we have now is big enough to be able to accommodate the group.
We will make it. We'll make it work. We'll definitely make
One
it
thing
work.
that I wanted to ask you was, do you have an age group? I have my daughter. She's 10. But she's gifted.
Yes.
You know what? We haven't set an age limitation yet. Just sign her up. If you go there's some links on my Facebook page. If you go to facebook.com/LaRue Howard or LaRueLive.com, there will be links there where you can sign up, and it's with Eventbrite is who you would register for the event.
Okay.
So, but we don't have an age limit yet. This is the first one. I'm really just taking it day by day. You know, when God gives you something to do and you don't really know how to do it, you're not qualified to do it. You just say, okay, God, you told me to do this. So surely your hand is on this, because all I'm getting is favor and agreement. And, just people are just coming and are excited about it. And, the response has been overwhelming. And so that just lets me know that God, that God has heard the cry of the people.
Yes, it's really needed.
Yeah, and it really goes to build up the body of Christ, because the vision is for people to come and learn what they need to learn, and then be ministered to as leaders, as ministers, and worshipers, and then go back to their churches and pour out from a place of refreshing and strength to enhance the local body, the local
that's
church.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Pastor LaRue, I'm a worshiper. And would you agree that we have a lot of singers?
Yes.
That sing very well.
Yes.
But there's a difference in worshiping.
Yes, absolutely. There are a lot of people that are gifted as singers, but maybe not gifted to lead. And not to say that they can't be, but I think that a lot of times they don't tap into the purpose of their gift.
Wow.
And so I think if you can tap into why did God give me this talent, then it would, take it to the next level.
Yes.
I was talking to my pastor today, Pastor Marvin Jackson, and he was just saying how, I would rather take a faithful person over a talented person any day.
Yes.
A faithful person who's dedicated into, being sold out to what God has purposed for their lives, as opposed to someone who just is very talented and can sing the rafters off the place, but has a bad attitude, a bad character, or has their own agenda.
That's
over what it is that God wants to do. So there's definitely a difference between people who sing and people who are anointed to lead. And so that's what we want to do with WLA, Worship Leaders Association, is bridge that gap, help people find out, what am I supposed to be doing with this gift that God has given me?
Okay.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
And I can't wait, because
Yes.
I would love to sign up my daughter to this. I would have loved her to come just learn it.
Yes.
To put a note together.
Yes.
She does have a beautiful voice. When we were coming back from Atlanta, she and I were doing, duets.
All right.
Yes.
All right. She was leading, but
yeah. So I'm really, really excited, and I think my church would be the first to take
to sign up.
Well, I'm excited. That would be
opportunity.
great.
Yes.
That'll be great. We'll definitely talk after we are.
Minister Tamara is the one who's
And if you have any questions, 407-894-1680. If you want to talk to Pastor LaRue, we're removing the mask. We have a few minutes, but it's 407-894-1680. Go ahead, Minister Tamara. I think we just put you on the spot.
Yes, they just put me on the spot.
Okay.
But I'm excited about everything about removing the mask. It's a wonderful work that's being done there with the women. We're seeing great, awesome results. As I said, there's a lot of love. It's wonderful when women can come together and not feel threatened, because women feel threatened by other women.
Yes.
There's none of that.
Yes.
We are totally at ease, and I'm actually amazed at how open some of the women are with their issues, that they're able to really come out. It is absolutely.
Well, when you come to that place when you say, you know what, enough is enough. I want to change, a complete change, not just a, on the surface, a facade, but you really want to change. And one thing that also, that is taking place with the removing of the mask is that we are also, it's an opportunity for us to see the potential that is in you, the gifts that is in you, and you begin to flow in those gifts. You begin to, you are encouraged, and, you're given things to do, and before long, you really are a part. There are those who can't pray, but by the time you've walked with us, you can pray, even loudly.
And talking about gift, I want to go back to Pastor LaRue. You are pulling out some dance gifts too.
Yeah, I was going to tap it. Just even say about that, because it is people who sing and lead and play, but also dance team members are very much invited.
Precious,
and not just call somebody out, Lord. And also sound engineers. Sound engineers don't realize that that's an anointing. Yes. They can make or break a service, seriously. If they're not tapped into what's going on, if the presence of God starts moving, and then they don't know to turn the mic up or turn the mic down, or just maybe there's some little effects and things that they can do to add, to enhance the sound of different songs that are going on. Sound engineers are anointed. They can be, and so sometimes just get up there and they think they just turn the sound on and that's it. No, you have an assignment there, and so there's also people that will be working with them as well.
That'd be wonderful. We have a music director, Daniel. He is just gifted all around, from sound, playing, singing. He is amazing. He's everywhere.
And as you say, music, because I've heard people play And just the music alone is so anointed. Your voice sound like you can sing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Because the anointing.
I love Daniel.
I received that for myself.
So I need that music engineer.
Yes.
And make the music sound good so I can sound like an angel.
Yes. You know, when the anointing is flowing and you're able to worship in that flow, it's like hand in glove.
It is.
And it makes it so much easier for the Spirit to minister to the people.
Absolutely. And even I'm listening to what you all are talking about, removing the mask ministry, and it really is going in hand with what God is doing in Central Florida, because women can come and that have this gift on the inside of them, but maybe they can't see the gift because of the mask that they've been struggling with. But because of the assignment that is on their lives, God has put them in the place where they can remove that mask, thereby pursuing the assignment that God has for them for this area, for Central Florida. Orlando is the most visited place for tourists. But I really believe that there's a sound, there's a feeling, there's just a sound that's going to come out of this area, for God's glory. And it is even tied into removing of the mask.
Yeah, I think it's happening. I really think it's
this
happening.
is it right now.
This
is it.
It is our time.
This is it.
And as you have heard, we are all about removing the mask. We're about
Is
just
it time
change.
to go?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. We have a few announcements again, but I just want to wrap up what we just talked about. We're talking about gifts and we're talking about talent, and everything is inside of us that we need to potential to just pull out and bring out. Don't sit on your gift. You heard these women about these awesome events, removing the mask. Pastor Tehila, where we're here every Wednesday. Pull on us. Any questions you have, give us a call. You have Pastor LaRue, LaRueLive.com.
Yes.
That is the Worship United Summit, and that's June 16, 2012. That is her in the background.
Wow.
And I love I'm Free. We'll talk about that. That she has a song called I'm Free, and that freed me up. You have to hear that song. But she stopped by to talk about how she is here to help you perfect your gift through God. Through God. Because she cannot do it without God.
Amen.
She's here for you. Next week, we're going to have another special guest, author, Jacqueline Russell. It was all a game unit. She's an author. She has a book. The story is on how one woman used game as methodology in her life. She was so caught up with winning at all costs that she didn't realize what was happening to her and as an individual. So she used games to get to what she had to get to do what she had to do. So it's going to be a real interesting story next week. But before everything is over, I want everyone to close out with their last remarks really quick. You have, I say 30 seconds, but with less than 30 seconds on y'all. Pastor Tehila.
Yes. Just wanted to say, ladies out there, you do have a place to go. You don't have to carry these things on your own. We were not wired up nor designed to carry some of the stuff that we're carrying. Come, let's join together and experience the removing of the mask.
Central Florida, we love you. We're so excited about what's going on again. And please contact us if you call the radio station. That number again is 407-894-1680. You can contact Sister Annette Davis. And I don't have my glasses on.
727-630-8372.
Yes, please do call. And with open arms, we're going to welcome
and
you.
our website is www.fifmor.com.
Yes.
Yes, I would like to say that I challenge all men, visit the radio show, visit the show, and bring the comments. You'll be amazed what you discover about yourself.
Okay, Pastor LaRue goes on out.
And I just want to add that even if you are not willing to sign up for the clinics, come out and support and be a part of the night of worship. That's the key thing, is we want to bring everybody together in Central Florida to declare our God is great and to worship Him and to let the rest of the nation know that God is moving in Orlando.
Yes.
That's June 16th at 6 p.m. Celebration of Praise, 3700 South Highway 27 in Clearmont, Florida. We'll see you there.
Amen. And we'll be back next week with Women, Wisdom, and the Word. God bless.
God bless you.
Thank you for tuning in to Women, Wisdom, and the Word, a word of wisdom for all aspects of life.
And remember, you can never overdose on wisdom.